Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We are live from Dubai. Just came back from Sharjah after watching the first game of the Super Fours between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. And it was Sri Lanka who turned out winners. They chased down the score successfully and they beat Afghanistan by 4 wickets. I felt that it was a good game of cricket, but in the end, it was a relatively easy chase in the last 2 overs because of a certain man called Rajapaksa. He turned the screws and really shifted the momentum in the game and made sure Sri Lanka made light work in the last couple of overs. It was still a topsy-turvy game until the 15th, 16th over, but then after Rajapaksa let loose, hit a few boundaries in 1 over. After that, it was all Sri Lanka, and they won the game comfortably. A big, big win for them because they lost to Afghanistan in the first game of the group stages, and the pressure would have been telling. There's no points carry forward, so Sri Lanka make the first step in getting securing points in the Super Four. So they're on top of the Super Four table right now, and it'll give them a lot of confidence. Afghanistan will be kind of heartbroken because they won 2 games and none of those points carry over. And now they have a loss. They're already at the bottom of the table. They lose another game, and finals looks unlikely for them in this Asia Cup. I felt that Afghanistan were 20, 30 runs short. The way they were batting, you have to credit Gurbaz. The way he batted today was outstanding. He set the platform for them, but unfortunately, the likes of Navi, Rashid, the finishers couldn't do the finishing job, and they made a hash of the last 3 overs. I think Sri Lanka, you have to give them credit. They bowled really well in their death. They were very expensive. Quite a few of the bowlers got hit. If you look at Karuna Ratne, 2 overs, 29 runs, that's an economy of 14.5. Shanaka, the captain, also 11 runs. So they were getting hit, but the last couple overs, Sita Fernando and Madhu Shankar, they bowled really well. The lines and lengths were good. They used a slower ball to good effect. That was the thing. Rashid was swinging too early, and then when he waited a bit, it was the quicker ball, so he wasn't able to judge the pace of the delivery. And you have to give Sri Lanka credit there, but at the same time, Afghanistan would have been very disappointed because they could have easily got close to 200, 195 plus for sure, 190 plus for sure, because they were 160 with 4 overs to go, and they only ended up with 175. So yeah, that's something that they will want to improve on in the next game. They've consumed too many dot balls in the death overs. Fine, you're trying to hit, but sometimes just take the single double, and that's how you put pressure on the fielders. Then you will get a loose ball and you can hit that for a boundary. It doesn't mean you have to hit every single ball for a boundary in the last over or two. You have to be a bit more smart, and that's something that Afghanistan will have to learn. Then if you look at the second innings, Sri Lanka were stable all the way through. Nisanka contributing 35-28, Mendes 36 of 19. Gunateleka, he came in and he also scored 33 of 20, hit a couple of sixes. So they were scoring at a good rate throughout the innings, but they were still behind the 8 ball, and that's where Rajapaksa came and changed the game completely. It was a brilliant knock, 31 of 14. When you strike over 220, you can make any chase look light work, and this was a 175 run chase. So he was the main man, I think, who changed that complete momentum and made sure that Sri Lanka would win, because there was a rush. There's an over of Rashid just before Rashid's second last over, I think, or last over. That's where he took apart the fast bowler. I think it was who was it? Naveen ul Haq. Yeah, he took him apart. He hit him like 3, 4 boundaries, and that completely changed the chase. Ashish, chasing is the flavor of today, bro. Don't tell me the Lakeshore score. I don't know yet. I'm just finishing my work. I'm going to check. I'm trying to keep it, but I think you're giving me a hint. But all right, I'm going to check the score and everything soon. I've been, my club is also playing semi-final, quarterfinal in Toronto, and I've been trying to hide the score from myself because I wanted to excite myself and see if the he's saying we lost. Bro, don't tell me what happened, bro. I don't want to know what happened. But yeah, focusing on this game in Sharjah, it was the Rajapaksa show. Batted brilliantly. Ashish, he's from Punjab. You would have been very excited the way he played aggressive cricket, and he gave it to Afghanistan basically. And there's a bit, you can see a bit of temper as well. Rashid Khan kind of lost it. He also got into a bit of a fight when he got reverse swept. I think it was. I think it was Shanaka, the captain, who reverse swept him, or Gunatelek. I'm not sure. Someone reverse swept him, and he got really pissed off. And you can see the tempers flying. But in the end, a very, very good win for Afghanistan, for Sri Lanka, and they are top of the Super Fours table now. For me, the player of the match, honestly, those 2, 3 overs in the death that turned the game. Also, Rajapaksa's inning. So I'll go with Rajapaksa because he's one player I can choose. But that death bowling from Sri Lanka was very, very crucial. They just basically stopped the flow of runs and didn't allow Afghanistan to get to 200. Otherwise, 200 was on the cards. And I feel really bad for Gurbaz. He batted so well. He set the platform. This is one of the top innings in the tournament. Throughout, he was smashing the ball. If you look, his striker is 186, 84 of 45 balls, 4 sixes. He was outstanding. Everyone else, striking the 150, 140, but he was brilliant. Really enjoyed that innings, and to set the platform like that and then not capitalize, I think Afghanistan would be very disappointed. You see Najibullah 17 of 10 got to a start but couldn't capitalize, and then Rashid and Nabi both wasted deliveries. Kareem Jannat only the one delivery. Just the finishing touches weren't there in that innings, and that cost them the game basically. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Congratulations to Sri Lanka. Now they will move on to playing India and Pakistan. If they can get one win out of those two games, or even both, you never know, and then they'll reach the finals, I think. So yeah, good luck to them. They've improved now after that first game against Afghanistan. They've improved. I think they prefer chasing for sure, but again, their fast bowling needs to be a bit less economical. I think Afghanistan playing attacking cricket is amazing. We need the passion back in the game. It's not brotherhood club going on. You are playing for your country. Yeah, that's a very good way to look at it. I mean, there's a lot of it's amazing to show friendship after the game or whatever, but during the game, it's all good, man. Just go for it. Like even I'm fine with the doing banter outside, showing your passion outside the ground also. But yeah, I agree. The passion should be there. I think Afghanistan has that. Bangladesh as well has that. These guys, even Sri Lanka. Now you see these three teams. They're creating a rivalry amongst the three. It's like in Premier League you have the top two, like United Liverpool. It's kind of like India Pakistan, and then you have these three fighting for top four or something like that. But you can see that rivalry, especially in Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka. That game, I realized they keep like snaking each other and doing those moves and stuff, and it is feisty. Even the players are giving it to each other throughout the game. Afghanistan also, they play very passionate. They play with a lot of passion, but there's a lot of talent there as well, which is really good. And they don't really get carried away. I feel that Bangladesh get really carried away, like they're just get sucked into the emotion, and that's how they lost that game against Sri Lanka. Whereas Afghanistan, I don't think they got carried away. They just made mistakes at different times, like with the bat in the death overs, and then in the field as well. They dropped a few catches, but they stayed in the game until that third, fourth, 17th, 18th over. Until then, they were in the game. They tried their best, but it was the batting which let them down. And batting has always been an issue for them. Hopefully, they can improve that. But I'm glad they've shown some good glimpses. I just feel bad for them because they won the first two games, and those 2 points don't carry over. And now it's going to be difficult for them going into the India-Pakistan matches. You never know if they beat both of them, but it's going to be an uphill task. And that's why I feel that maybe points should have been carried over. Now that more I think of it, but it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. That pretty much wraps it up. The first game of the Super Fours are completed, and tomorrow we have the big, massive game: India versus Pakistan. Both teams struggling with injuries, man. That's what I can say. You see, yesterday you heard Jadeja is out of the Asia Cup and the World Cup, and then today you get news that Dhani is out of the Asia Cup as well. So both teams losing players left, right, and center. I don't know. That's why I doubt if either of these teams will win the Asia Cup. They're losing players a lot. Maybe Sri Lanka or Afghanistan fancy the chances now. But tomorrow again, it's before it was minus Bumrah, minus Shaheen. Now there's a minus couple more players. Both teams are losing players. But if you look at both teams, kind of evenly matched, you would say. The first game was a close one. Pakistan's bowling will always cause problems for India. India's bowling as well will cause problems for Pakistan. So I think that's where the difference will be. But also combination-wise, what will be the likely 11s? There's a lot of talk that Pant should open the batting instead of Rahul. Rahul should be dropped. Pant should come in, utilize that power play. It gives you the left, right hand. I don't know if they will go with that solution, because you've kept the thing with KL Rahul. He hasn't played since the IPL, but you made sure that he's going to play the Asia Cup, right, after 6-7 months. If you wanted to ease him into the team, you could have got him in for that for the Hong Kong game and slowly think, but you straight away opening with him in the Asia Cup. So I think you have to keep that trust in him. If he fails, he fails. But if you want to win the Asia Cup, then maybe Rahul is not your man if he continues like this, because he just does look out of form. He looks very rusty. Hopefully, he can just go play some free cricket, because with KL Rahul in form, he changes the whole complexion of Team India. He gives you that start in the power play. He can get the score to 70, 80. His timing is fantastic. He'll hit those sixes as well. And I think that's something that India will need. They'll need a flying start from KL Rahul. Hopefully, he can give that. Whether Pant will play or not, I'm not sure. If Pant is not playing against instead of Dinesh Karthik, I don't see him playing instead of KL Rahul. Then again, we'll have to wait till tomorrow for that. The other thing is who replaces Jadeja. I think the options are Deepak Huda and Akshar Patel. They'll probably go with Akshar Patel. He will be your bowling option and batting option in the death as well. In the last few overs, they can get him in to come and hit some sixes. He batted well in that West Indies tour, so I think his batting has improved. Bowling wise, again, he's similar to Jadeja. There will be assistance in Dubai, so he might be effective. Maybe in Australia he won't be as effective. That's just my reading of it, because his ball does skid on. It doesn't turn unless the pitch is turning. Like, there's not too much turn. He's a kind of skiddy bowler where you can use the pace. But let's see how it goes. I think in these conditions he will be effective, and Pakistan haven't really played him, I think. So that's something that they will have to also adjust to straight away. From Pakistan's point of view, Hassan Ali, I think, walks back into the team now, from being dropped to coming in as a replacement for Shaheen Afridi to now going to be playing in the 11. The journey of Hassan Ali, he has not been in good form in the last couple of years. He's really lost track of things. He's not the same guy we saw in the 2017 Champions Trophy. That reverse swing is missing, that pace is missing, but he has that experience. He's played in this pressure game against India. He's played quite a few times against them, and Pakistan will be banking on him to bowl a few tight overs, build some pressure at the other end, give support to Naseem Shah. Naseem Shah will be playing. Just hopefully he cramps don't really bug him again, because that really affected him in that last game, and you could see after that he got hit as well. If he can stay fit for those 4 overs, it will cause India problems. The battle will be Naseem Shah versus Rohit and Kohli and Rahul. Again, the top 3 versus Pakistan's opening bowlers. It'll be a key, fascinating battle. I mean, if you flip it again, Bhuvi versus Babar Azam and Rizwan, I think Bhuvi did an outstanding job, even Arshdeep as well, with the new ball. But Bhuvi in particular was brilliant. When his ball wasn't swinging, he suddenly went to the short ball and he caught Babar Azam by surprise. So that battle between the 2 players will be key as well. If Bhuvi can get Babar out again early, that will hamper Pakistan's batting. I think now if you look at the strengths, Pakistan's batting lineup, it's the top 3 that they rely on: Babar, Rizwan and Fakhr. Whereas India normally used to rely on top 3, but now it's the middle order they're relying on. So I would say Hardik Pandya, Surya Kumar and Dinesh Karthik, Akshar Patel as well, to a certain extent. These are the players they will bank on more. And it's kind of switched for India. In a way, it's good, but unfortunately, life is such that not everything will click at one time, right? So when the top order is performing, the middle order wasn't. Now your middle order is suddenly performing. In 2019, they kept talking about number 4. Now you have one of the best number 4s in the world, and Surya Kumar Yadav, but your top 3 are not clicking. So if India can get the top 3 to click, play some fearless cricket, they have the middle order there. And that's why I think they'll have to play a bit more aggressive in the power play. At least one needs to go. If you want to keep wickets in hand, I understand, but out of Rahul and Rohit, one needs to go from ball 1, and I think Rohit will take that responsibility against Pakistan. He will probably look to score boundaries early, because once you get that start, then you always have Surya Kumar who can come and finish it off. He can also build an innings. He can play counter-attacking. You don't need to be worried too much. Again, that last game was against Hong Kong. He'll have to prove himself against Pakistan. In the last game, he was only 19 of 19, so he was slow himself as well. So let's see what happens tomorrow. The battle of the spinners will be interesting as well. Chahal versus Shadab. I feel Chahal is I think he has the edge in this battle. He flights the ball very well. He varies his pace good. In Dubai, he pitches it perfectly as well, and he's not easy to get away. It looks like some balls he loops it, but because his pace varies, he extracts turn from the pitch. It's difficult to play him. Shadab, on the other hand, he's been really good as well. I remember the last T20 World Cup as well. He really evolved as a spinner. But I think Chahal edges it in that way in terms of wicket taking and more difficult to get away. But both did a fabulous job in that first game, and they were well guided by their left-arm spinner, whether it was Nawaz from Pakistan or Jadeja from India. They also did a job, and they were economical. So the battle of spin will be interesting. And then the battle of the hitters, Hardik versus Asif Ali. Hardik won the last game. He was outstanding, looked in really good form. Again, he will be a key player going into this game with the ball and the bat. Hardik Pandya is giving you 4 overs now, and he's getting you those wickets, and he's bowling a good pace. That's something which is nice to see. 140 plus. I think the best thing that happened that he rested that Hong Kong game. They need to use Hardik Pandya wisely, because he's going to be that vital cog in that Indian team going into the World Cup. With so many injuries happening, the last thing you want is Hardik Pandya to get injured, so they have to be a bit careful. Whereas Pakistan as well have quite a few injuries, so they want to be careful with their bowlers and batsmen. Let's see what happens. Last game, India won. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Will Pakistan win? But I think whoever wins tomorrow will have an edge in the tournament and go and will probably have almost a step of, inside that final, because, like I said, the points don't carry over. So you beat your rival team, you get those 2 points, and then you have Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. Both teams will have Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. If they win at least one of those games, they have a very good chance in the finals. If they win both, they're guaranteed the final. So tomorrow's game is very, very important. It's strange how like the first game of the group stage and first game of the Super Fours are the same for both sides, but that's the format of the game. And let's see how the conditions are in Sharjah. The pitch was very good to bat on. Even in Dubai, we saw that Sri Lanka Bangladesh game. It was a high run chase. I think because it's the beginning of the season, there is a bit of grass on the pitch, and that allows the batsmen to score freely. Whereas if it was in November, December, after 2-3 tournaments have been played, the pitch starts to crack up. It becomes conducive to spin, becomes a bit difficult to bat on. But here there's also no dew, so the games are a bit more even. The bowling side is also in it till the end, although like in the last couple games Sri Lanka have changed, but you can bowl teams out, you can defend scores in this ground, on these pitches compared to the last World Cup. It's not just dictated by toss, but yeah, bowling, I think both teams will look to bowl first if they win the toss tomorrow. Very excited for the game. Babar Azam versus Rohit Sharma 2.0, India versus Pakistan 2.0, all to play for in the Dubai Heat. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Really enjoyed the show, and it was a very nice outing in Sharjah. It was hot there, and then you had slight drop in temperatures in the night, but it was great to see a game in the iconic stadium over there. In the 90s we used to watch it on TV, and it was really nice to go to the stadium and see that. And it was a good game of cricket. So yeah, hoping for another cliffhanger tomorrow between India and Pakistan. You can comment with who you think is going to win and who's going to be the highest scorer. Let me just make my predictions in terms of highest scorer in the game tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be a close one. I think it'll be between Surya Kumar and Fakhr. I'll go with Surya Kumar. And then wicket taker, I'll go with Naseem Shah. And then catches, let's go. I would have gone Jadeja, but let's play it safe. Let's go keep Rizwan. Let's go either Rizwan or Dinesh Karthik. Yeah, drop in your predictions, and let's see who wins the game tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. Take care.